Why Steve Jobs always put their feet in toilet water for hours. Is Steve Jobs mad and cruel? How can we say that? Watch this full video to know dark background story of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, founder of Apple, born in 1995, where who is his parents? Real parents. A couple of Syrian immigrant Abdul and graduate student Joanne are real parents of Steve Jobs. They decided to not marry and put Steve Jobs for adoption. Father of Joanne was never supported Joanne for marry with Abdul. But after Joanne's father died, they married. After married, they have a daughter. Joanne and Abdul divorced in 1962. Steve Jobs referred as Abdul's and Joanne's sperm and egg. A married couple's Paul and Clara Jobs adopted him. He was temperament and genius child. History childhood was not so usual as compared to other children. As a child, he was bullied for being scrawny and nerd kid. Kids also taunted him for being adopted. Jobs would upset whenever people referred Paul and Clara Jobs as his adopted child. Bullied Steve Jobs would grow up to bully himself. He was a verified tech tyrant. Apart from his personal life, his professional life is also not too normal. He would publicly humiliate employees if they disappointed him or failed to meet his standards. People who worked under him said that he was incredibly mean at the time. But it was not just for employees. He used the same abrasive tone to tell anyone what they were doing wrong. He never apologized for how he spoke to people. He always demanded perfection from everyone. No one is perfect in this world. As Apple grew, he becomes more cruel. Jobs also claimed that he couldn't be father because he was infertile. When his wife told him that she was pregnant, he was angry and become more volatile and unpleasant over time. No one can't imagine his mental view towards the world. Jobs also told to his wife that if she gave baby for adoption, she would sorry and he didn't want her to have an abortion. Yet he also told her wife that he would not help her to care for children. His wife quit her job at Apple, and she would clean houses of others to make his own money. Steve Jobs only speaks to his wife through his lawyer, refusing her to talk face to face. He would later meet his another life partner, Laureen Powell, and have 3 more children. He was also frequently pulled over for driving 100 miles an hour, and he even dared to honk at the officer. We can't even imagine having the gall to honk on the police officer. We're not sure how many people would even be able to get away with that if they were not Steve Jobs. After his death, more of his shady dealing came to light. An audit by the new CEO showed that, while overworking the employees in China, they were also underpaid. When Senate looked at Apple finances, they found that Apple had been engaging in tax evasion while funneling their income into overseas accounts. It was revealed that Apple manufacturing used blood minerals, especially from mines in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Jobs has absolutely no public records of ever giving to charity. Most shockingly, he used to put his feet in the toilet water in bathroom. It was one of his go-to stress relievers in the early days of Apple, and soak his bear in the toilet water. Steve have done much darker work on which we can make video of 15 to 20 minutes. But for a man who demanded so much perfection, he seemed to be completely at ease with having no standards for himself. Steve Jobs steal ideas, never gave back to his community, and he was a terrible human being in his professional and personal life. He did change the world with his work, but maybe he is not the person to look up to. But every coin is always to face.